Hey gorgeous souls, it's Vix. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome here for the first time. If this is your first time, exciting. Today we are doing the tarot and oracle card reading for the month of November 2024, or whenever you find this video. So I'm creating this for November, but if you happen to come across it later, you can absolutely still get some guidance and messages from it. So a couple of things I wanted to tell you about before we begin today. Over in the Library of Light, which is my membership, my monthly membership, this month we are going to journey together through the 1111 portal. I know everyone always gets so excited about 1111, including me, but it's a really interesting one. We're going to talk about the numerology. We're going to talk about what these portals actually do, what they're for, what's the point of them, and then we're going to go on an experience through the portal together. We're also going to pull some cards. I'm going to give you a tarot spread in that session, and yeah, it's just going to be like a lot of fun and really healing and activating. If you're interested, the link is below. I also have some space this month to do some more witch wound readings. They are a limited edition. So after this month, I won't be offering those readings again, but you can always get a soul reading. A soul reading is basically just whatever you need. And the way that I read, and you'll see this in the reading today, the way that I read is that I tune into your higher self, your soul self, and I read from there. So I don't just read like predictions of, I think this is going to happen in work and that's going to happen to you in this situation. I'm much more interested in my work to look at why you're really here and how can I help you, or how can I receive the guidance and pass on that guidance that will help you to ultimately live your best and highest life. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can grab a reading with me anytime, or you can of course just get the messages that come through in this reading today. So today I'm going to be using the Galactic Guides Oracle, and this is the Oracle deck, one of the Oracle decks I created with Ellie Grant, published by Rockpool Publishing. And I'm also going to use one of my favorite tarot decks, the Modern Witch Tarot. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you will have seen this deck quite often. So what we're going to do is same format as the last few months. I'm going to pull an oracle and a tarot card for each of the elements for the different signs. So whether you're a water sign, fire sign, earth sign, or air sign. However, you can also just go with what you're drawn to. So maybe today you're like, I'm not a fire sign, but I feel like I need to watch the fire sign message. Then go for it and watch it. You can also just watch all of the messages. Some people do that. And I always feel like when I'm in this space, there are things from each of the elements, each of the little readings that we do that really apply to me. So I get something from all of them. You can look at your rising sign, your moon sign, and watch the readings for those, or you can just watch your sun sign. And if you're not sure what elements you are, there's a list below. Each of the signs tells you what elements they are. I know I had a couple of people ask me about that, so I've included it below. Okay, so let's begin. Let's take a moment to just kind of tune in and just set an intention for our reading today. If you're somewhere where you can close your eyes, you can do that. Otherwise, just listen. So let's take a deep inhale together. Inhale and exhale. And then just send your awareness into your heart space. And here, just set an intention. So if there's anything that has been on your heart or your mind that's bothering you or worrying you, or a question that you have that you really need some guidance and clarity on, just place that into your heart and place it into this space, into this container, this sacred container we're creating here today. And once you've done that, take a deep inhale. And I always like to set the intention that everything that comes through in this reading today is in alignment with the best and highest good of all. And so it is. Amen. Satnam. Okay, so let's begin with the water signs, since we are in Scorpio season. Okay, beautiful water signs. We're going to pull a tarot card for you. Not that one. Okay, tarot card for water signs. We had one fly out. We actually had two fly out, and you know what? I'm going to keep shuffling. I saw what those cards were. The cards are really jumpy today. I did center my energy before I began, so I'm pretty sure it's not me. Okay. So sometimes when those cards fly out, I like to, if I'm not sure, like 100% sure that they're for the reading, I will put them back in, and like 9 times out of 10, one of those cards will come back up. Okay. Your oracle card, that was quicker. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we have our tarot card is the Ace of Swords, which I love. This is great. This is good stuff. And then we have Capricorn, ambition, resilience, authenticity, and determination. Okay, I've got a beautiful message coming through for you. And this is actually something that I'm going to be talking about in my newsletter this week. And if you would like to be on the newsletter list, click the links below. I have like a whole bunch of beautiful freebie options that you can grab if you want to join and be a part of the list as well. But I always share like a little ramble, a little story, something, you know, that I think that's been coming up for me really. And this is something that's been coming up for me, and I'm a water rising and moon. So this is definitely for me as well as for you. So we often get to this part of the year, November, if you're watching this in November, where it feels like the year is over. And it kind of feels like all we have left to do now is really just kind of get through the rest of the year, and then January will come, and in January we'll be excited to start to kind of work towards our dreams again. And with the Ace of Swords here, this is like new beginnings, new beginnings, fresh new energy, clearing away the old, starting over again. And I love that this is coming up in November, because this is like such a big message of like, we still have 2 months. Like we still have 2 months of this year to do whatever we wanted to do with this year. This is a really good time actually. And I found some of my old notes, things that I'd written for the beginning of the year. But this is a really great time to have a look back at your New Year's resolutions if you made any, think about your word for this year, look at like the numerology that you've been in. You know, this has been an 8-year, and that's been really interesting for me. A little aside, you know, coming into an 8 year is like abundance. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is going to be my year of like just full on financial abundance. And for me, actually, what I've noticed more is just that like all my money stuff's been coming up to be worked through. So like, okay, great. So that's been fun. But, you know, look back at, you know, where were you at the beginning of the year? What were your intentions? What has shifted and changed? Are there still things on your list of things that you like wanted to do, wanted to achieve, wanted to create this year that you didn't do yet, or that aren't finished yet, that maybe you still have time to do, right? Like some people ask me like, how do I get so much done? And part of it is by not buying into these kind of like bullshit narratives around, oh, it's November, like I might as well just give up on this year and start again next year. Imagine if at the beginning of January, you were, instead of like, oh, cool, what am I going to do with this year? You were like, well, it's the beginning of January. I'm not going to do anything till the 1st of March. So I might as well just sit around and do nothing. You know, or like any other point of the year, would you just put all of your dreams on hold for the next 2 months and then start them like 2 months later? That's just bizarre, isn't it? But for some reason in November, people are like, nah, the year's over, the year's done. What's the point? What's the point is that you have 2 months to do something that I'm hearing like sowing the seeds, planting the seeds, setting intentions. Even if like 2 months isn't long enough for you to totally like manifest your goal or do the big thing that you wanted to do, you can still get started. You can start now. That's coming through so loud and so clear. You can start now. whatever it is, whatever you want to change in your life, whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to make happen, you can start right now. And I have a project that I just started like a couple of weeks ago, and it's a book, and I've already got in mind that I want to have the first draft done by the end of the year. And that was not a plan that I had at the beginning of the year to write this book, but it came through and it was like, okay, maybe this will be fun. I'll see where this experience is taking me. And I'm so excited about it. And it's like, okay, what can I do in 2 months? I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing, perfectly done or whatever in 2 months, but I can definitely get a draft done. And then at the beginning of next year, I'm going to have this like draft for this book that I can take another couple of months to polish up, and then it can be like out into the world. But imagine if I just thought, okay, well, I've got this idea for this thing, but I'm not going to start it till January. Like, what? And I know people are busy. Like, I know this can be a really busy time of the year, and we can be tired as well. And I'm hearing this is really important. This is always really important for water signs. People have water in their chart. But especially at this time of year, sometimes us water signs, we can feel a little bit depleted, and we can feel like, well, we've given so much and now we actually genuinely do just want to rest for 2 months. Like, I feel like some of you are like, Vix, I just need to chill out. Then, that's your intention. Like, make that your thing, and just say, I'm going to spend these next 2 months resting and recharging and just like looking after myself in the best possible way. Set that as your intention. Start that now, instead of just going through the motions. That's coming through really, really clear. Is like, let's stop going through the motions. There's a difference with water energy between being in divine flow and going through the motions. And so that message is coming through for this month. And moving into the rest of the year, let's stop going through the motions and let's start like really just moving in this divine flow, finding ways to be in flow state more often, doing the things that put us into flow state. And this project that I'm excited about, that's putting me into flow state. So what's yours? What gets you into that state where you're like, time just stops or disappears, and you're like, you just go into your own world, and you're just like, wow, an amazing experience I've just had. Oh, okay. So set some goals, make some plans, get some stuff done. You've still got time, but also be kind to yourself and rest when needed. Stop going through the motions and start going with divine flow. I really hope this supports you this month, water signs. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I always love to hear from people when it resonates, because this is a little bit like I'm just putting it out there. So it's nice to get the feedback from people saying that it resonated. So please do let me know. And if you would like to work with me this month, the information is all down there below for you. Lots of love. Fire signs. Okay, fire signs, let's see what your cards are for November, or whenever you're watching this. Okay. Okay, so your tarot card is the Hanged One. And your oracle card is Mintaka, nostalgia, belonging, and community. Okay, so I can see here with these two cards that this may feel like, this may feel a little bit like you're not feeling like you're totally in alignment. Like something hasn't happened that you wanted to happen. Something's not moving as fast as you wanted it to go. There may be just like some frustration around kind of things that you thought. I'm also hearing for some of you, that like you thought by this point in the year or this point in your life that you would be at a certain place and maybe you're not there yet. And I'm hearing really clearly that it's time to let go of these arbitrary, someone comment, tell me that I'm saying it wrong. Arbitrary, thank you, timelines that we put on ourselves and our path and all of the things that we're here to do. We so often give ourselves these timelines and we say, by November, I'm going to have done this, or by the end of 2024, I'm going to have done this, or by the time I'm 40, I'm going to have done this. And most of those timelines that we put on ourselves, some of them can be divinely guided, and some of them are like from your guidance, from your highest guidance, from your higher self. We really want you to be working towards this thing because we really want to see you in this place, in this situation, doing this by this date. Like sometimes you will get that, like divine guidance that's where you need to be at a certain point, and it will happen that way. But most of the time, these timelines that we put on ourselves are just like from all of the cultural, societal conditioning that we pick up from everywhere, like watching movies and TV shows when we're kids, and we're like, oh, okay, we watch The Nuclear Family on TV and we think, well, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be married and like have 2 kids, or, whatever it is. Obviously that time, for many of us, it's getting like later, it's like, oh, by the time I'm 30, I want to be married. I want to do this, by the time I'm 40, I want to be super successful in my career. We have all of these, like these timelines, and this is just what society tells us we're supposed to do. And this isn't what we're supposed to do. This is what society tells us to do. And so many of us feel like that belonging part, right? Like we want to belong. We want to belong and we want to fit in. And so we look at what everyone else is doing and we think we need to do that as well. There's a really big message coming through for you, fire signs, to like burn that away, or some of it, like some of the things, to look at like, what is your version of this? Like, what are you holding on to? What beliefs are you holding on to around when you have to do things, what you have to do when, that isn't anything about you and your soul journey, and it's all just conditioning from around you? What are those things? Let's burn them away. Let's get rid of them. A really huge message coming through here that you didn't come to Earth, you didn't incarnate in this lifetime just to tick somebody else's boxes. That's like a direct message. You did not come to Earth in this lifetime to tick somebody else's boxes. You came to have your own experience, which for a lot of people on the spiritual path is different to what everybody else is telling us that it's supposed to be. Whether it's that we are still doing the like, the some of the things that's like socially the norm, but maybe we also have this secret spiritual life. We're watching videos on YouTube, like tarot readings on YouTube, that nobody else even knows that they are doing it. Or whether you're feeling really called to just like give everything away and like go and do van life, or go traveling, or go on a spiritual retreat, or just go find yourself, or whatever that is. You are not here to just follow somebody else's path. You're here to really forge out your own path in this lifetime. And that's going to mean like so many different things to so many different people watching this. But you are not here to just do what has been done before. You are here to create new pathways for yourself, for your soul, so that next time, if you incarnate again next time, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go down this path because I can see that my soul went down that path before, and that was like, has paved the way for my next incarnation. But you're also here to do this for everybody else, or for other people, because we as spiritual people and witches and starseeds and however you want to, like, whatever you want to call yourself, it's all the same thing. We're here to be magical and do things differently and like get outside of the box. And we're here to show other people that that's okay to do. Right? And the more of us that say, actually, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to, do something different that's not what society expects from me, the more of us that do that, the more it makes it okay for the younger generations of witches and magical people to also make those decisions and do things differently in their lives too. So you are a way shower, you are a leader, and you are very much here to do your own thing, to do something different, and to not be confined at all by what society tells you that you're supposed to do. And there's a beautiful ritual that you can do for this. And I do this like all the time. I just did a little bit of this morning, actually, recording this on Beltane here in Australia on the 1st of November. I did this little ritual, and this is, like I said, something I do very often, is you just write down on a piece of paper the things that you're ready to release. You write them down and then you just burn it in a candle. Make sure you've got somewhere to catch the ashes. So you can write down, you can think about what it is, like, I really have this belief that I need to do this, or I need to be rich and famous by 40, or I need to be financially independent by 50, or I need to own my own home by this day, whatever it is. And these are different from goals, right? Like maybe you genuinely do want to own your own home by a certain point because you want the security and you want to, that's something that your heart and soul really craves. That's like a different thing, but these ideas of I've got to do this by this day, write some of those things down. Or maybe it's just different social, societal pressures that you're feeling, about like beauty standards or like anything, right? Write them down on a piece of paper, burn them, you're done. Okay, beautiful fire signs, I really hope this resonated. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you would like to work together this month, check the links below on how we can do that. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Earth signs. Okay, earth signs. Let's see what is coming up for you. We have your oracle. We're just shuffling for a tarot card. Okay, earth signs, these are your cards. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, the Lovers, loving that for you. And the full moon, fertility, gratitude, abundance, divine feminine. I love this combination. It's just, gosh, it even, it always blows me away when I do readings on this channel, because so often we get cards that are just like, oh, the starry sky is like really similar and the colors are similar. And I get excited by that stuff. Okay, so earth signs, let's see. Full moon, the Lovers. So love and relationships is very much here on the cards for this month. Love and relationships, but most importantly is the relationship that you have with yourself, and secondary is the relationship that you have with the divine, and then everything else springs from that. And so one thing that's coming through here really clear is around your spiritual practice and your relationship with the divine. Your relationship with the divine is a mirror to your relationship with everything and everybody else. If you have a good relationship with the divine, I'm saying divine, it's whatever that is for you, whether you call it God or you call it spirit or the goddess or whatever, whatever your version of that is. But that relationship that you have with that divine energy is a mirror for every other relationship in your life. It's a mirror to your relationship with yourself, and it's a mirror to all of your other relationships. Apologies for the beeping. If anybody knows, this is total aside, but if anybody knows how to make my Mac stop making that sound, please post in the comments, because I have put everything on mute and that noise still happens. Okay, so how do we do this? Like, what does this mean, and how can we get into a good relationship with the divine? This is the question. How can we get into a good relationship with the divine? you need some kind of spiritual practice. Your spiritual practice is your connection with the divine. It's your relationship with the divine. Now, we talk to the divine all the time, right? Like, we're always in relationship with the divine. We're always in communication with the divine. We see our angel numbers when we're out and about or looking at the microwave or our phone or whatever. And that's a little hello, and we say hi, and we're like, what is it? What's the message? And we have that beautiful moment. And we go out in nature and we look at the nature, whatever it is where we live, and we feel that connection to the divine. But when we have a spiritual practice, we're really kind of like anchoring it. And it's like we're making time to sit and chat with the divine. We're making time to sit and like have a conversation with the divine. And that is so powerful. It's like, if you think about like a relationship that you have with a friend, isn't your relationship better when you send each other text messages a couple times a week? Or, when you call each other, or when you spend time together? That is good for your relationship, right? Like, that makes your bond stronger. So whenever you sit down to do a spiritual practice, you're making your bond with the divine stronger. So you sit and you connect and you make that bond stronger. And so as you go through your day, you're more open, and it's easier for you to connect with the divine in all those other ways as well, in every other moment. So this is a little bit of a, like, if you don't have a spiritual practice, think about what your spiritual practice can be. And I talk about this all the time, and I have loads of tips for how to do this on my website, blog posts, also in the library. We have some courses on things like this as well. But make it something that works for you. Make it something that works for your lifestyle. So my spiritual practice is like, it takes about an hour every morning, and I do rituals, and I do chanting, and I do some breath work, and I say my prayers, and I do a bit of candle magic, and different things depending on the day, like all sorts of different things. I won't go into like a whole thing about every single thing I do. But that's because I do this work for a living. So I do this for a living, so I need to be in a good place. Like, I need my connection with Source to be really clear so that I can do these readings, and so that I can do one-on-one work with you all and be able to tune into your energy and tune into your guides, because that's my job, So it's really important for me to do that. That doesn't mean it's less important for anybody that's not doing this for a job. First of all, though, if there's people watching this who are doing this for a job and you don't have a spiritual practice, please do something. Do something. Because the stronger your spiritual practice is, the stronger your connection to Source, but also the stronger you are energetically, emotionally, mentally. And that's the truth of it. And at least that's my truth. And that's been my experience from being somebody that didn't have a spiritual practice at all, a bit of a dabbler, doing a little bit of magical stuff here and there, to now I have a daily spiritual practice that I always do every single day, even when I do not feel like doing it. And it's completely changed the person I am. I feel like who I used to be, like, a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, I love that version of me, and she was amazing, and she was like wonderful in so many ways. But there were things that could have been better. And this is how I've managed to do everything that I've done. This is how I have managed to start and grow a successful business. This is how I've become an author of books and decks and all these amazing things that I get to do in the world because of this. And so I want you to do the same. I want you to have a spiritual practice, whatever that is for you, right? It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be like, I take 1 minute to just sit and breathe and connect to Source and pull an oracle card. Like, that can be your practice, but you do that every single day. I always go on about this. I always tell people, like, you gotta have a spiritual practice. And please know it can be whatever it is for you. Some people's spiritual practice is like, I go for a walk every morning with my dogs and I just like feel the peace and serenity of nature. And like, that's your spiritual practice. That's amazing. You know, like, make it what it is for you. It doesn't have to be what I do, but it needs to be something that works for you in your life to help you to be able to do everything that you're here to do. This is coming through really clearly. Now I'm seeing like this anchor of like, your guides want you to like anchor and ground your energy in a way that helps you to do everything that you came here to do, that helps you to fulfill your purpose and your destiny, whatever that is. So that was a really like interesting message from full moon and lovers. Like, we totally went off on a tangent, but the guides do that sometimes. But they're also saying like, this is the practice. They're like, Vix, this is cool that you've just given everybody this like butt kicking about spiritual practice. That's going to be useful for some people watching this. Maybe it's not for everybody, but for some people watching, it's going to be really, really useful. But this is the key, is gratitude. This is the key to everything. They're showing me this beautiful golden key and they're handing it to you and they're saying, this is the key to everything that you want. This is the key to your destiny. This is the key to like everything that you're trying to manifest, everything that you're trying to create, everything that you're trying to be. This is the key, is gratitude and love. They're like, it's gratitude. Oh yeah, but we also have the lovers card. It's gratitude and love. And gratitude and love is like pretty much the same, right? Like, when we're in gratitude, when we feel really grateful for something, that's love, you know? Like, I try to do a little bit of gratitude, try to be in gratitude all the time, 100%. But, you know, I spend some time, and this could be your spiritual practice. I spend some time every morning as part of my practice of just kind of listing off some of the things I feel most grateful for. And when I do that, I'm totally in my heart center. I'm totally feeling that love, the love vibration. Okay, gorgeous. Earth signs, I really hope this resonated. Let me know in the comments. Would love to hear from you. And if you'd like to work together this month, the link is below on how you can do that. Lots of love. Air signs. Let's see what is coming up for you, for us, because I am also an air sign. So let's see, what is your oracle card? Oh, yay! It's extra yay because it's for me too. Okay, so the sun is our tarot card. Yay! And our oracle card is the earth, grounding, reconnection, home, and guardianship. So a couple of really, really simple kind of messages coming through straight away. The earth message, it's very important for us air signs to make sure our energy is grounded. So make sure you're doing something every day that grounds your energy. And that can be as simple as visualizing that you have, one of my favorite ones is to visualize roots of light growing out of my feet down into the earth. I also love to work with the Earth Star chakra. If you're not familiar with that, there's a course over on the library where I will teach you what it is, how to connect with it, and go through meditation together. But it's basically the chakra that sits underneath your feet. And it holds you in place in the earth. And that feels like it's very, very important for us this month to really kind of anchor and ground into that space so that we feel really held. I feel like there's some air signs at the moment that are kind of feeling like you're a little bit like, I actually don't feel that held right now. Like, I'm kind of feeling a little bit all over the place. We tend to do that as air signs. We do have this beautiful ability to have like 1,000 ideas at once. We're pretty good at channeling. Like, we're quite kind of like natural channelers because we just like, you know, have the crown chakra so open like a lot of the time already. So we can just like bring in all of this divine information. And then of course we have our own thoughts that are kind of going all over the place. And they're like, it's really great for air signs to use the Earth Star because it can help bring this stuff down. I'm seeing like it can help bring this stuff down That's actually really the message. You know, I think sometimes, and this is for everybody, but I know air signs struggle with this the most probably. We get so many ideas, so many things popping into our heads all of the time that it can be difficult sometimes to go, okay, well, what's the divine guidance? Like, what's actually the divine guidance, and what is just my brain making things up, or what's my anxiety, or what's my fear, and what's the actual divine guidance, or what's my hopes, what's my wishful thinking, or what's divine guidance. I know, like, we need to, instead of like focusing all our energy on the crown chakra and going, oh, I just need to clear out my crown and then I'll know. Actually, what we need to do is work on the lower chakras, especially the lowest. Well, it's not necessarily like the lowest, because, you know, we have like bajillion chakras, but the main one, it's underneath our feet, the earth star chakra. And the more that we can ground, the more that we can get in nature, the more we can get outside, the more that we can, work with herbs, work with like physically use things in your magic, like physically use herbs and oils, and use nature in your practices. I know a lot of people, and I've been through phases where I've done this too, where a lot of us, our spiritual practice is just simply meditation or visualization, and that can definitely get you to a certain point. And I think for some people it can get you like really to a great place, but I feel like air signs especially, like we can, like, sometimes we need something to like hold on to. Like sometimes we need, like, I'm meditating, I need a crystal to hold on to. And, you know, like I noticed such a huge difference in my meditation between when I'm just like meditating just in, like an easy pose or something, versus when I sit there and I put, because, like in Kundalini yoga, we do a lot of like the, this mudra, Gyan mudra, and the difference when I just put a crystal in my hand, it's like, oh, okay, like now I feel really grounded. Now I feel really like, now I feel like I got something to hold on to. So that can be like a really, really useful tool for those of us that need that. If you're having any kind of, I'm seeing this for some people, if you're struggling with anxiety, first of all, if your anxiety is really, you'll probably know, if you're somebody that has anxiety, you'll probably know when you need to seek support versus when you just need to do some things for yourself. But if you have a little bit of anxiety, hold a crystal. Hold a crystal. If you have a little bit of anxiety, hold a crystal and just see how you feel. See if you feel better. And if you don't, then you go, find something else to do. But that can be like a really powerful way of grounding. You don't have to go through these massive processes. I got to visualize my roots and I got to connect with my earth star, and all that stuff will be really helpful. But sometimes in the moment, you're just like, I'm feeling weird. My thoughts are all over the place. Hold a crystal. Hold a crystal in your hand. Like, it's nice to carry them in your pocket and like wear them and everything, like that's a powerful practice too. But just hold it in your hand and see how you feel. Okay, so the other message here that I have for you about the sun, and I love the earth image because we've got like the sun behind the earth here, like the sun's rising behind the earth. You have to do more of what makes you happy. That's a direct message from your guides. You have to do more of what makes you happy. Too many of us, I feel like this message has come through before in these readings, but too many of us are just, we're looking at ways to feel better, and we often go, oh, okay, well, I need to do more self-care. I need to do more self-love. I need to do more of this. I need to do more of that. Like, oh, I need to eat better. I need to like food prep. I need to like eat more salads, and like all of those things are good. I'm not saying let's stop doing any of those things, but we need to do more of what makes us happy. The silly, fun, little things that make us happy. I say silly and little. They don't have to be silly and little. It can be anything. Anything that brings you joy and makes you happy is what you're being called to do this month, is what you're being focused where your focus is being directed to what makes you happy. You have to do more of what makes you happy. This is how you live your life purpose. This is such a super simple message from the guides. They're just like, so many of us are like, I want to live my purpose. I want to live my destiny. I want to do what I'm here to do. Like, I don't want to miss it. And we're like trying so hard to like figure it out and do all the right things and make sure that we're like, the guides are happy with us and everything. And they're just saying really clearly here, like, you have things to do here, but you can't do them if you're miserable. You can't do them if you're like this, turning into this like robot stone person that's just like, I got to do this, got to do that, got to make this happen. And they want us all to have more fun and to feel lighter and to feel more freedom in our souls. And we can only do that when we're doing what makes us happy. And then of course the irony is that the thing that you're here to do, like, you're here to do lots of things, but the thing that you're here to do that you're trying to figure out right now, the answer to that is doing what makes you happy. Because when you do that, you either realize, oh, that's the thing that's calling me, that's part of my purpose. That's part of why I'm here to do that. Or you'll do that and you'll get into such a high vibration that you'll be able to figure it out like really, really quickly. Okay, gorgeous air signs. I hope that helped. That was really useful for me as an air sign. I love that message about just hold a crystal. And these readings are very channeled. Like, this isn't coming from me. I mean, occasionally I do pop in a little story about myself or my own experiences or my own thoughts and opinions about, oh, this worked for me, you could try this. But these are like, I'm just passing on messages that I'm getting from the guides, from source energy here. So I don't know what the messages are going to be until they come through, and they always help me. I love that one. Just hold a crystal. I'm definitely going to do that. Okay, gorgeous air signs. Really hope it resonated. Let me know in the comments if it did. I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to work with me this month, all of the information about how to do that is in the links below. Look forward to seeing you next month and sending you lots and lots of love.